In this video, we're going to look at the first homework assignment for CS 151 in this term. So if we're on the CS 151 website, which is this link, if you can remember that, there's homework. And we're calling this homework H1, H for homework, 1 for 1. So we're told to read this. And I'm actually going to do this assignment. So you can watch this right now, and then, so just watch it once all the way through, and then go back and try to do it yourself, and you can come back to the video if you need to. All right, so the first thing that you need to be able to do is to connect to the CS server. I'll actually add something in there. You'll have to read the email that you get, or do that in class to be able to connect to the server. So I'm going to assume that you already have connected to the server, and we can start following instructions here. I'm going to use my terminal here and log in as this user. So everything here should look just the same. Make this so that we can see right. Okay. All right, I have something left over that I just want to delete. Pay no attention to this. All right, so now I'm ready to start here. So cd space tilde goes to your home directory, which I already was at. So handin dash capital C H1 tells me that I've checked out assignment H1 and it's copied 2 files. So what's happening here is the hand-in program is used to keep track of assignments on the server. If I just type hand-in, enter, then it says H1 is an assignment. It's due on the 20th by midnight. Late submissions are allowed. I have a submission because I was playing with this earlier. So I submitted something earlier today. So if I just do hand-in with no parameters, it's checking to see what assignments there are. If I do hand-in dash capital C, that's for checkout. I can also do hand-in dash dash checkout. And it says I've already checked it out. So I'm not supposed to check it out again. It may overwrite something I've already written on. And if we do hand-in dash dash help, I don't know whether that's helpful or not. Okay, so let's keep moving. So what we're supposed to do at this point is go over to this link. If you haven't looked at this already, this is getting started. Okay, that's it. So we can read through a little bit there or not, but we're going to get more specifically what we need to do here. So the second step is, okay, getting a terminal program working, which you probably have already done if you're able to log into the server. So you've already done that. Right. So we've actually already done that. Make sure we can log into the server remotely, which I'm doing right now. Okay, so then the real work starts here. Okay, so there's a video here that you can watch about these commands. So if you haven't already watched that, you should go ahead and pause the current video and go over to check out that video. So you read through, these are different commands to get around in Linux. These are different shortcuts. The video there gives a demonstration. Okay, so based on knowing how to use those commands, now we're going to complete these tasks. So you can copy and paste this link, or it's just in this page, sample homework. All right, this is telling me things to do, and it's saying to do some homework directory wherever this is a generic page that could be used by different courses. So for our CS151, I'm going to use my H1 directory to store files into. So I want to go into my H1 directory. That's with the cd command for change directory. And if I do ls for list, then these files were there that were copied by the manifest or by the hand-in program. I could look at the README file. It says to complete the steps in this file that we're looking at. It says the manifest, don't change it. So it's a list of files that are going to be turned in, but don't change it. Okay, so I'm in the H1 directory, and I'm supposed to follow through what is happening here. So copy this file. That is a file that's on the server. I could go to that directory just to see what's there. So cd/u1 junk ls for list. There's files that have been used for different classes and things. There is a file shakespeare.txt, and that's the one that I'm going to copy. I'm going to go back into, well, there's different ways that I can do this. So I'm here and I want to copy this shakespeare.txt and I want to copy it back to my home directory inside of the H1 directory. So I've copied that file now. I can go back to my H1 directory. And now I have Shakespeare. And if I do ls-l, then that file is 5 megabytes. It's the complete works of Shakespeare in text. So from Project Gutenberg. Okay, so item 1 is done. All right, now I want to copy this file, and I'll show another way to do this. I'm in the directory where I want it to show up. That is the file that I want to copy. But it says here, don't call it CPU info, change the name to be this. Okay, so this is a file. It doesn't have a .txt, but it is a text file. So this is a file that is in this directory, and I'm going to copy it to the current directory, H1, and I'm going to call the file this. Okay, now I could look at that file, and it's information about the CPU that's on the CS server. So you could look up this CPU if you wanted to. We actually have 2 of these in there if you go all the way through. Okay, so that's one file copied. We're going to do the same thing with version. I'm going to skip that. I think you can do that on your own. So same thing, you're going to copy that file. Okay, now we're going to make an info.txt in our directory. So everywhere that we're saying hwdir, I'm in my H1 here. I'm going to clear the screen just to see what we have. So I have those 2 files. I want something called info.txt. Okay, I'll use my nano info.txt. So I'm in the nano editor now and editing a file called info.txt, and I will copy and paste this and fill in some information. So depending on what terminal you're using, the paste is different things. On the Mac, I could do the edit paste or the command V. If you're on Windows with putty, right click is a paste. If you're using some other terminal, then you can ask the internet. So for example, putty paste text or something like that and see what it says. Okay, so you fill in this information. My name on the roster would be Jeffrey Kinney, but I would have you call me Jeff because that's what people call me. So you can put, maybe you can put it like that. Why are you taking this course? I'm a CS major, or I teach high school CS1, or whatever it is. Anything that you're worried about, not having enough time or something. Maybe there's some of the content that you're worried about. I don't know, math. What are we most excited about? Maybe you're excited about making games, so then you kind of want to nudge us in the direction of having some assignments like that, or teaching, or whatever. Okay, so if you're using Nano here, there's a command, Control-O. I saved it. And there's a command there, Control-X. All right, so I did my info.txt. All right, so this says browse to this directory. Question for you, what is the command for changing the directory? Okay, so the point of this assignment is that you're supposed to start to remember these things. All right, so the command to change a directory is cd. Okay, and then it tells me to run this, which we could copy and paste, or we can type. This is an L, not a 1. ls-l cs151. All right, so this directory here actually is that's where the web server, the root of the web server. So if you do cs.indstate.edu/whatever, it goes to this directory, and there's stuff there. If you go to /cs151, like we have over here, where is that actually going on the server to get this file? And this right here has that information. So this CS151, actually it goes to my J. Kinney, which is me. It goes to my home directory, into a directory called public HTML, into a directory called this. Okay, the homework question here is asking you to copy that. So I'm going to copy that. On my Mac, it's Command C. On PuTTY, it would be highlight and left click, I think, but you can ask the internet. Then I want to go back to my home directory, H1 directory, and go back and put that into my info.txt. And it says paste it into the file, and maybe I'll just put here ls-l cs151, and then that was the output. And what does this stuff mean? We just talked about what that means, and the rest of it we'll talk about another day. I'm going to exit here. I haven't saved the file yet. So it's reminding me that I should save it. I'll say Y for yes. And it's asking me what do I want to call it. I won't change the name. I'll just press enter. Okay, that's number 5. And now we have to copy another file. And I'll leave that for you to do. So what's the command for copy? And I want to copy this file. So that's a hello.txt inside of the home directory for the user CS151, and I want to copy that here into my H1 directory. Okay, so that completed practicing using these commands and shortcuts. All right, that was our number 3. Now our number 4 is going to, so I could copy and paste this link, but I'll browse to it over here. This is all in the Linux and CS systems getting started. There's a bunch of these, so we were looking at files, directories, and getting around, and now we'll look at system information. There will be a video here sometime. For now, there's a list of commands and what they do, and there's a sample homework. Okay, so we're going to do the sample homework. And let's just check over here. So we're going to watch the video that will exist at some point. and then we're going to complete the tasks in the sample homework and use our H1 directory. Okay, so we're supposed to create a file called systeminformation.txt. I'm going to copy and paste that. So I want to make a new file of this name, and I'll use my Nano text editor, and then put in this information. So I'll copy and paste this as well. Okay, when did I run these commands? I am running this on the 14th of January 2020. Name of the computer that I ran these on. So here, it depends. If you're doing this homework assignment in the computer lab, I'm going to write this out. So if we're doing this, actually I'm going to open up another tab. So that I can be running commands on one and have the file open on the other. Okay, so this says run the hostname command, and I'm logged into cs.indstate.edu. If you're in the lab and you have a terminal open, you might be connected to this cs.indstate, or it might be that you're running it on the local computer, which will be something else. Okay, so for me it's that. How long since the last system reboot? Run the uptime command. And this says this part here, so there's 7 users logged on, and that says something about how much of the CPU is being used right now. Not very much. So this says it's been up 26 days, so I'll just put 26 days. And okay, how many terabytes used and how many available in this directory? And I'm supposed to run the df-h. So df is for disk free. This gives a list of disks. So these are disks. They're file systems. And there's one here, U1. And it's giving me used is 2.9, capital T is for terabyte, and available 7 terabytes. And if it wasn't giving me that in terabytes, then the -H is for please give it to me in readable, human readable, human nice. Don't give me 2, let's see, terabyte, so it would be 2, 9, and then 8 zeros or something, 11 zeros. Okay, so but I'll put here used is 2.9 terabytes, available 7.0. But if you run this on some other day, as you're likely to do, you might get slightly different numbers there. Okay, command for getting uptime and how many weeks, days, hours, and minutes. Okay, so this here is saying you need to do man uptime and read through the documentation. Okay, so man uptime, man is for manual. Look up the manual for uptime. And this, so the manual, you can use up and down keys and Q to quit. Okay, so you want to read that, and the command is going to be uptime something. All right, read the manual. You can also search if you do Linux uptime, then you can look through one of these, or you'll see, if you see something like this, then that's the manual page for one version of the uptime. That's actually a different version of the uptime command. Yep. Okay, so that would be the end of this file. So Control O in Nano writes it out, Control X And there are my files that I have completed so far. Okay, so handing it in, you do like this, cd space tilde, hand in H1. Okay, so what this is telling me is I'm submitting H1. I had a previous submission. It go ahead and got rid of the previous one because this is going to be now my current submission. It's checking for files that it's looking for. So it looked in that manifest file, and these are files that it copied. This file it did not find because I didn't do that one. You need to do that one. It found these other two, but not this one. Okay, and then the instructors for the course, the hand-in copies those to a location that we have, and I'll show you what that looks like, just so you know. So the instructors for the course have available the ability to become the CS151 user. So the CS151 user, there's an H1 directory, and that's where we create the files that hand-in is looking for. And there is a directory .submissions. And it looks like somebody else has submitted something. They're trying out the assignment. This is for my test account. That's my student account. All right, so then if I go inside of there, then I can see the files. Right, so then we can check your files. We also have the date. So the